This is Patrick on New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Today, I have something very special for you, an INEOS Grenadier. This is a purpose-built SUV for overlanding and daily driving, and AJ is gonna give us a tour inside and out. This thing is converted into a camper, and it's got a pop-top roof. So join us for the tour.
Thanks, Patrick, for having me. Hi guys, I'm AJ, and I'm one of the owners of GP Factor, and I'm gonna give you a tour of my INEOS Grenadier that we've converted into a camper. And let's get started kind of going around the vehicle. So the INEOS Grenadier we make a lot of parts for, and we wanted something, and I wanted something that was also a daily driver. I drive this thing every single day. I've got 3 kids and a wife, and I need to be able to put everybody in the car, but also we wanted a camping rig that we can use. And so that's exactly what we built here, so we'll kind of go through it. Going through some of the stuff we've done to the Grenadier on the front end, we'll start with is we manufacture a Bullbar and a hidden winch kit that we work with Come Up on. They made us a custom winch for it, so we wanted to make sure we had some good protection on the front, also some good recovery. When we're going off grid a lot of times, you know, it's like we're in remote places. You just want to have that insurance of having a winch and some other recovery gear just to make sure we can get out of places that we're going to just in case something bad happens. So that's kind of what we did. Otherwise, the front end really kept that Grenadier look that we love. Kind of working back, we did a small lift kit on it. It's about a 1.5 inch lift kit, so we could put a little bit bigger tire. This is a 285, so it's like a 34-inch tire. We love BFG KO2s. It's a great all-around tire. It's awesome on the highway. It's awesome just driving around town. It's really good in like the mud and the snow. So it's been the only tire I've had probably for the last 10 years on my vehicle. So, and kind of working back, you know, we have a couple accessories from Buzz Overland. They're actually our distributor in the UK. And this is their rock sliders that they make. They're stainless steel, so you can see when we've scraped them up on the trails, we're not getting any rusting, which is nice. So they do a really good job with those. They've got some side steps, you know, easy for us to kind of get up top if we got to do some work up to the solar panel or storage up on top of the roof, or putting the awning away. It's just a nice little step to have, very durable. And kind of working around the vehicle, other outside stuff, this is our propane we have for our vehicle. So we want to have, this is an 11-pound propane tank. We use it primarily for cooking right now. We don't use it for heat in this, so this is primarily just for cooking, or if we're running like one of those, like if you can't have like a live fire, it's great to have propane if you're running like one of the portable fireplaces. So when you can't burn and have a burning fire, like this is a great option just for places where it's really dry. Continuing with some of that recovery gear, we always have a set of Max Tracks with us. We have them with some GP Factor mounts there, and it's such a great insurance thing to have for on the trail. They also work really well for leveling out the vehicle too, because you're setting up for a couple days and nobody wants to sleep with their head facing downward, so it just gives us a little bit more, it's like leveling blocks. And kind of working around this side, you know, we've got just one of a recovery shovel. It also serves as a hammer. It's a 2-piece shovel. And it's nice because you get like a 2-pound hammer there for pounding in those tent stakes. Shovels are great for tending fire, digging out recoveries, or, you know, emergencies in the woods for, you know, latrine. So we get asked a lot of times, like, why Grenadier? Why make parts for the Grenadier? Or why have a Grenadier? And I think the biggest thing was its capabilities. It's very good off-road, solid front axle, just like a Jeep, but it's a little bit beefier underneath. It's a very durable frame. It's overbuilt. And its GVW is like 7,800 pounds. So we can do a full loadout with a roof conversion and all this gear and a lift and all of our stuff inside and pulling a trailer. And we can do all those things. And it's got a trailer rating of pulling 7,800 pounds with trailer brakes. It's got 7,800 pounds in GVWR. And so I'm still under GVW right now with all this stuff done to it by, I think, 800 pounds. It weighs about 7,000 as it sits. So it's meant to have all that stuff, whereas every other vehicle I've owned in the past, whether it's a Gladiator or a JK or whatever it is, we've always been over gross vehicle weight. So some of the purpose-built stuff that they did that we just love about it is the fact that it comes with the raised air intake, like right off the bat. A lot of people think of this as a snorkel. It comes with that. You know, the fact that it comes pretty much set up that you can put a little bit bigger tire on it, but not too big. We wanted it to be roadworthy, but also capable. The parts are very easy to maintain. I mean, it's you can take apart the bumper if you need to. It's not like you're breaking plastic clips and all that stuff. And it's a full metal bumper, and you know, just some of the L-track they put on the outside. Like it looks great. It's cool. It's nice. You know, aluminum anodized L-track, but you can attach stuff here if you want to. All right. So I know we've talked a lot about the vehicle and how it's built, but everybody wants to see what's inside, how we turn this into a camper. So let's take a look. So the roof conversion on top is made by Alu-Cab. They're a company out of South Africa. And they make a roof conversion for a couple different vehicles and campers and tents and some of the best stuff and awnings. And this is a roof conversion specifically for the Grenadier. The Grenadier has these awesome tailgates that give us huge wide open space. So how it's packed out, as you're seeing here, is how I would go camping with it. This is the gear that I would take with me. This is the gear I do take with me to go camping. And to pop this, it's super easy. We're gonna take these two latches. We're gonna get this pushed up. And so there's our tent for popping up. And a lot of people say, well, what makes it a roof conversion? A roof conversion is because we cut a giant hole in the roof, because this is the bed that you fold up out of the way to get up into your sleeping area. And what's nice about this is that the bed is designed for when you're sleeping up there, but you can still have access to it. So typically, I'll throw my water tank down. This Aluma box is a great pantry that we like to use. I've used this for years. And the pantry also serves, we keep a lot of, pots and pans in there, stoves, some towels, maybe some food, gloves, coffee filters, whatever. But then this also is our step. Just makes it a little bit easier to get in and out. And coming up into the roof conversion, the tent up top here is your sleeping arrangement. So it's probably, you could sleep, 2 adults and like a small child up here. Typically it's 2 of us, whether it's my wife and I, or me and one of my kids, or me and 2 of my kids. And if we're taking everybody, we usually have a ground tent on top of this, or we're pulling a trailer that we can sleep in. And what's nice about this conversion too is that if you're not sleeping and you just need more space in here, you can fold this out of the way. So now you have all this open space, and we'll kind of show you how we convert the rest of the interior now. So let's fold down the rear seats and show you how we turn our 5-seater into where we can actually live in here. So because we kept our seats in the back, we didn't get rid of them to make the whole thing a camper. We want it to be dual purpose. It gets driven every day. We're constantly driving it for work, or I'm taking kids to soccer practice or anything. So we wanted to keep the rear seats but have them be usable when we have this roof conversion. So the seats in this thing are awesome. They just fold up real easily. And while we have this folded up, we can take a look. All the electronics for the entire Grenadier are in the rear, underneath the rear seat. So we've done a lot of parts that we've converted with Red Arc, or Red Arc BCDC. We've got a 150 amp hour lithium battery here. This is a little part that we just drew up and 3D printed quick. And what it is essentially is it just gives us a circuit breaker point for any other accessories we add in, but all the fuses, everything's under here. So it's super easy access to maintain the vehicle if needed. And what's great about these seats is that when you fold them down, they fold down completely flat. So I'm gonna come to the other side. You can actually see some footprints here where we've been stepping on it. So we can have access to all of our electrical stuff if we need it. We fold down the seats, and then this turns into more living space that we can live in. We might throw like a little tarp down, or like a little canvas, a pad or something, or put a little pad here to sit on. But this essentially, with the doors, with the camper all set up, we just got done with a couple trips this summer. When I'm in the mornings and I get up, I fold the bed out of the way, and we'll be down here living. Maybe if my wife's still sleeping up there, I can still sit here, but it's an awesome place to get changed, kind of get out of the sun, get the fans going. We have a little fan over here, a little battery powered fan that we use just to keep some airflow flowing in here. But you have a little living space that is, you can live in, and what we like to refer to as like the basement. Like that's the upstairs and this is the basement. The basement's nice because when the weather's bad, we have a place that we can go. And I use this spot, honestly, for just about everything. I need a counter just to kind of go through some bags and get some gear out, make coffee. There's a lot of different things that we can do with it. What you're seeing here, we built out interiors specifically for these Grenadiers, and I specifically wanted one that was, we'll call it a half version of our full. We have a full interior that gets rid of these rear seats, makes a whole flat floor. It's got a kitchen over here with stove and sink, and over here it's got a full couch with cushions and everything, tons of storage, and it's an amazing setup. Whereas we wanted to keep the rear seat and have it be a true dual purpose camper and daily driving vehicle. So that's what you see with these specific cargo modules that you're seeing right here. It's a floor plate, and then the modules are set up for full storage over here with a nice counter you can use, or just a utility top or whatever you want to do. But it's got a ton of storage in here. It's all lockable. It goes, my arm goes all the way in here. It goes all the way back. And you're only covering the wheel well in the back, so you're really not losing a lot of your general purpose, we'll call it out, squared cargo space. And that was a key thing that we wanted, was having, you know, storage that didn't take up too much space in the back, so you still maintain that, like your factory cargo area a little bit, but also gained a ton of like usable storage to keep gear in all the time, or keep gear in when you're going camping. Because if you don't have a place for it, it's just going to go everywhere, and it looks like a bomb went off in the camper when you don't have proper storage. So what's nice about the long stuff too is that we have real long storage in here. So we've got a couple chairs in here we can store. You know, we can take those out and set them up. This is actually, if you see on all these doors, we put this flocking tape on it, and it's like a velvet tape. And what's nice about it is that it makes it nice and soft and takes away any type of like rattling. So this thing doesn't make any noise going down the road, which is really nice. All the cabinets are lockable. They're all lockable on you know, with the same matching key, which is nice. And then coming to the other side, the other module that we have in here is, it's a fridge slide, but also storage below it. We wanted the fridge slide to sit a little bit above the wheel well, so it's not coming out too far. And this is your cabinet. This one's actually locked, so we'll do the front one. But it's storage underneath. So you got some longer storage for some longer bags or chairs or tongs or whatever you're storing under there. And there's a little molly panel back here. So I thought this is a good spot to put the air compressor, because I wanted to have access to it. I wanted to get enough air breathing. So we just wired it here. It was easy to get to and hook up. So when we're airing down our tires, or we need air for a bike tire or whatever it is, we have access to it right there. In the fridge, I'm a huge fan of National Luna fridges. I've owned every other brand, and this is the third or fourth one of these I've had in different rigs, and they're just amazing fridges. I found that they do the best for no hot and cold spots. They're just consistently 33 degrees, or if you're using this as a freezer, and you can get into it just like this. So they got a couple baskets in here. This is a 50 liter, so it holds a very good amount of stuff for a couple day trip or whatever. The fridge slide was key because we wanted to have access to it when we're not in the vehicle. So you have a fridge slide you can pull out, and now we have access to it from the outside of the truck if we're not climbing in it. I'm 5'10", so it does sit a little bit high, but we found that with a box that you're typically going to have anyways to get into the camper, it was sitting at a good height. And even if I'm not on it, I can still get into it if I need to, just to, you know, grab a quick cold one or something. So. And then the storage module underneath is just that longer storage module. So because the camper is so sleek, I love Hess pillows, and like we have a Hess comforter up there. So I store my camp pillow, or camp pillows, if we have two of them in there, up under here. So these kind of fold up, if you've ever seen them. And they're really comfortable pillows. Got a few of them now. And that just is your, you know, almost like a memory foam type pillow. And then we'll throw that up there and use it. And then when we're not using it, we're packing up the camper. We just wrap it up so they don't get destroyed. They don't take up a lot of space, and we just stick them under there. But usually the stuff that gets stored under this one is stuff that I really want, all the stuff is stuff we want access to. But I mean, you can see the pot's just sitting out right there. It's because we use it a lot. So we just keep it, you know, out of its own bag because it's going to get used. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen these tailgate tables in a lot of Patrick's videos. This one's made specifically for the Grenadier. It's probably one of our most popular products for the Grenadier, but we love it. I mean, it gets used daily. It's not just when we're camping. You have your slide out cutting board. The cutting board can come out completely, so you can clean it, use it elsewhere, and then you can store it back in the table. Little cubby here. This is literally how I live with it. Like, this is daily stuff. So there's a ratchet strap in there. One of the locks I took off. You know, another lock here. Some instructions I need to take a picture of, and then I can throw them out. But it's a good catch-all for me personally. This little cubby, and there's a little light there. So you have a little light surface there that can turn either red or white, which is nice. But yeah, we love these tables. They're super useful. Not just for, if you don't have a camping rig, like they're just, I use this every day. It gets used when we're building stuff on it, we're fixing things, you name it. You know, kids are, you know, we're going to a soccer tournament and, you know, we need to make some sandwiches or something like that. It gets used all the time. And one more thing, just like all of our products, these tables and everything we make is all made in the USA, right in Pennsylvania. So let's go up front and take a look at some of the stuff we did to the front end of the dash and some of the switches, so that makes sense for everybody as far as how we're running, like navigation and all those things. So another pad that I like to sit on, probably from a bad back, but it's very comfortable, is our front end. The cool thing about the Grenadiers are kind of like it's almost like an aircraft up here with how they do their switches and everything. And you know, you don't have your speedometer right here in the front. You got your warning lights, and then you got your main radio right here. So as you can see here from the dash, we added some accessories. I want to have a cell phone mount, so it's obviously we're not fiddling with our phone when we're driving, but we mounted an iPad mini here mainly so that we can run Gaia GPS. And the reason why we wanted to have Gaia GPS running was because we run it off of our Starlink mini that's on the roof that we'll show you here. We pre-wired the car when we did the roof conversion for the Starlink, some of our camper accessories, because we wanted to utilize a lot of these accessory switches that come with the auxiliary switches that come with the Grenadier. We didn't want them just to go useless or have things just outside, so we kind of repurposed those wires to do things for the camper. But having Gaia on a, you know, the Starlink has been super helpful, because there's plenty of times we were in Vermont about a month ago and 3 days of no service. Well, your CarPlay and your cell phone service isn't working, so if you don't have internet coming in, you know, sometimes these GPS services don't work without having like a traditional GPS system. So the Starlink running 24/7 allows to keep the Gaia so we know where we're going, because we're in some very remote places where, you know, I don't have a Rand McNally that's even showing some of the class 4 roads that would exist. So it's important for us to have like updated trail maps, and just to make sure we're getting where we're going and getting out of places, you know, in the right way and safely. So some of those accessories, we have our Starlink, you know, mounted right to this one here. This is our camper lights, and that's all the camper lights and camper accessories in the back. This is going to be our winch in the front. And I think we've got a few others in here that are being taken up, but right now I think those are the 3 main ones that we're using. So then you've got all your, you know, off-roading stuff, differential locks and downhill assists and lights and different things they do. And it's a really cool dash. It's really easy to use. It's you get used to it, and it's kind of fun. It kind of feels like you're in like an aircraft with these kind of switches. So we'll show you the top end of the truck real quick, since we're just talking about electrical. So you can kind of see it a little bit far without climbing up top there. We run right now a 120 watt solar panel. Solar panel is going to charge our auxiliary battery, which then can do back charge to the truck battery. So it's important we always have some trickle charge coming in. And then we've got a little roof tray that I made just to store some like firewood and whatnot, but it has we have a permanently mounted Starlink up there. So that Starlink mini just lives up there, but it is a mount it's our quick detach mount, so you can take it out and we can store it if we don't want to, if we're storing it long-term somewhere or parking it somewhere and we don't want this white box that just kind of sticks out. So we'll take it off and we can store it in the truck. Transitioning from the roof and some of the electrical stuff, we'll go through some of these big bags hanging off the side. Probably my personal favorite accessory that Alu-Cab makes for any vehicle is their 270-degree awning. Any single vehicle I've had for the past 5-6 years, it has to have this. Like, I don't care if it doesn't have a camper on top, it has to have it. It is one of the easiest accessories to use. It doesn't just get used for camping, it gets used in our driveway, it gets used at our shop. It is just an amazing accessory to have. I can put it away, my 12-year-old son can put it away, it's super easy. You got 3 straps, you wrap this thing around. It's just gonna attach right there to the camper. You're gonna tension it down, put a little tension in the unit, pop that up, and it's set up. And the best part about this is that it's UV rated. So when it's really hot out, it's at least 10 degrees cooler underneath here than if you're baking in the sun. So you get out of the sun. They make wall kits for these too. Like, these big wall kits are the same material. So if you're in places where it's super windy or it's super rainy all the time, those wall kits are nice because you almost gain like all this livable space, you know, to keep your stuff out of the elements. But these are a must. I can't tell you how many times we've gotten rained out that we just end up using it, and it's so handy and useful. Definitely one of my favorite accessories, because it really turns our rig into like almost like a little like camping, like full camping setup outside as well. So it's really nice just for having that. And with these tailgates, it works really great because, you know, your tailgate ends like right there where the awning ends. So you have full coverage on where you're cooking, where you're living, where you're doing things. And then on the other side, there's a smaller bag, looks very similar, just smaller. This is our shower cube, and Alu-Cab makes this as well. And this is a great product. We use it for everything from showers to a changing room to like a little tent for the portable toilet. But that's pretty much it. We'll stake it down, and you've got a little shower changing room in here. You can see it's just got a lot of room in it, and it's really nice. So it's a great, it's got a little roof on it, so if you are getting a little bit of rain, you can stay dry in there, but it's super great. We mounted it towards the back because we still wanted to be able to shut the door and get in and out of it, so it doesn't block anything with getting in and out of the vehicle. And with that said, like we don't have a toilet in here right now. I would say our toilet arrangements for camping, something people always ask us, like, what are you using for a toilet? Well, it just depends on where we're going. If we're going to a place where we know they're gonna have like, some porta-johns or something like that, usually depending on, we might not take our toilet with us. Usually we have a wrap-on toilet with us, and it's just a nice kind of like emergency thing that we'll set up in here. That's probably what we use the most. But if we know we don't need it, we'll save space in the truck. We'll use the porta-johns if they're available. Or if we have a trailer with us, we'll use the toilet in the trailer. And obviously in worst case emergency scenarios, an off-grid situation, we've got good old faithful shovel. And lastly, just for scale for the bed, a lot of people ask how big is the bed. You can sleep on the bed with this back section folded up. We choose to fold it down just to have a little bit more space. So if I pop up here, I'm 5'10", and if I lay here with my feet in the corner, I can sleep here. Usually we'll fold it down just to get a little bit more space for our feet. Our feet are at the bottom, it's touching, but you can do it if you wanted to keep the bottom open and have a little bit more airflow. One of the things we wanted was a little bit of like a nice ambiance up here, I guess you could say. So we added some fairy lights and just ran them down the whole thing. So when it's dark out, we don't want to have like the big red or the big white lights on for, we just wanted something like a nice ambiance. That's what we did. So it's really nice. It's nice because you get that light, especially if it's raining out and we close up the windows. They've got these nice screen windows here with the fabric. So if it's raining or super cold, you can, close these up, leave a little bit of air venting. It does keep you pretty warm up here. And same on this side, and then there's obviously one in the rear as well. And this one's nice too, because if it is raining, but we want to have some good airflow, we can put the rain awning out and then open this up fully. All right, guys. Well, Patrick, thanks for checking out our rig and let me show it to you guys. If you want to check us out, we're on Instagram, GP Factor, and you can learn more about our products and this rig, or if you want to learn more about the Grenadiers, you can give us a call. We'll help you out as best we can.
I love these Grenadiers. They're like purpose-built off-road vehicles, but it's dependable, and you could drive it back and forth to work every day. You could go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
It's really an all-purpose vehicle.
Yeah.
I love these modules that you make. They're all, what, aluminum powder-coated with rivets?
Yep. Yeah, we do all aluminum powder coat rivets, so it's very lightweight, doesn't add a lot of weight to it, but they're nice and durable. They look good. Kind of like that aircraft type look, very similar to what the Grenadier is doing in like the front end. So
and nice smooth edges, they're not sharp edges. Was it laser cut?
Yep, it's all laser cut, and then we deburr them in house and rivet them all together before they go to powder, and then we'll go back and do the final assembly. So yeah. So
they're made in Pennsylvania. Customer goes to your website, orders them. They get what, crate shipped or box shipped right to your house, and
yeah, if you order it from from us or from like our distributor, OK 4-Wheel Drive, you're going to get it. Most of it's going to be boxed. Some of it's pallet shipping, but most of our stuff is shipping in UPS ground boxes. So you can go to one of our dealers, go to our website, you can buy all the stuff, and it's going to ship out to you this week. So
I know a lot of people, like, their mind's blown that you cut a huge hole in the roof of your Grenadier, but like people buy Sprinter vans and convert them to camper vans, cut windows in and fans in and air conditioning. You pretty much did the same thing.
Yeah, it was actually that wasn't the part that was. I thought that was going to be the most like nerve-wracking for me, was cutting the hole. I think it was more so like knowing that there was a hole cut and that it would be everything sealed correctly and all that stuff, and then no issues with that whatsoever. No road noise. It honestly feels no different than before we had the roof conversion. I think it adds like 200 pounds of weight to it, but you just don't know. The vehicle eats it up. You don't notice it.
Well, so that's awesome. I appreciate you taking the time today.
Yeah,
I'll put those links in the description. This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us.